high cortisol causing cortisol face. I feel like I'm about to burst your bubble right now, but I do promise I will give you signs you can look for that represent a true cortisol imbalance at the end. I am seeing people talk about cortisol face all over the place at the moment, where basically it represents like a rounder, squishier face. And while this does represent high cortisol, it doesn't probably represent it in the way that you're thinking. So cortisol face isn't actually a medically diagnosed term. What it actually is something more called moon face, which belongs to Cushing's disease. Cushing's disease is where you're producing a lot of high cortisol. Now, I'm not meaning just like really high stress day-to-day life high cortisol. I'm talking about producing really abnormal, like 3 to 4 times the high amount of cortisol in your body. And a really small percentage of the population actually have this. More than likely, you're just experiencing day-to-day high or low cortisol symptoms. When cortisol is out of balance, it does mess with your blood sugar levels and it can mess with your electrolyte levels, causing more fat gain and a little bit of fluid retention, which can influence how your face looks. But to be honest, it's not even one of the first or even one of the middle to last symptoms that you'll notice when your cortisol is out of balance. What's more than likely going on is you might actually have estrogen dominance. So when your estrogen goes high, which is around ovulation and the week leading up to your period, it can result in fluid retention, which is why you might gain 1 to 2 kilos before your period, and can make your face appear more like it's squishier and rounder. If your cortisol was actually really high, what you're more going to notice is that you're struggling to fall asleep or you're waking up in the night. You feel really anxious and like you've got wiry energy, and you might notice more like a heart palpitation, like your heart's racing. But when your cortisol's low, that's when most of the symptoms show up. We're talking waking up really tired and crashing in the afternoon, losing a lot of your hair and gaining weight, but particularly on the belly. So if you want to truthfully figure out why you've got this cortisol face everyone's talking about, I recommend seeing if you're estrogen dominant and also checking out if you've got low cortisol, which is where it's more likely that cortisol is causing weight gain and fluid retention on your face.